What is the space in which you can feel the most secure, where you can be truly content and can shed all the layers that you put on and be your true authentic self? Most people would answer that this place is home, and within home is family. Our family, the one we are born into, or our chosen set of individuals with whom we cohabit, form the fulcrum on which our entire life rests. For a neurodiverse individual, this unit is often their window into the world, their source of exposure as much as their safe sanctum. Which is why the family is very, very important in the hiring process and the work life of neurodiverse individuals. My name is Gopika Kapoor. I am a neurodiversity consultant and author and a parent advocate, and I'm going to talk to you today about why neurodiverse hiring is a family affair. A short introduction on myself. I am the mother of twins, of whom I have a wonderful young man on the autism spectrum. His diagnosis propelled me, a journalism student and writer, into a completely different world, that of neurodiversity. Highly aware of my privilege, and in order to give back to the community as well as to help my son, I started working as an autism intervention therapist as well as a trainer at Umeed Child Development Center to help parents and professionals decode their children's communication and behavior. The paucity of literature on lived experiences of raising a child on the autism spectrum in India inspired me to write my book, Beyond the Blue: Love, Life and Autism. This is India's first book on autism by a parent, which combined the story of my journey along with strategies, techniques, and tried and tested tips for parents and caregivers. Along the way, I realized that while a lot is being done for children, there are very limited services which exist for adults on the autism spectrum and adults who are neurodiverse. It is almost as though post the age of 16 or 18, these adults are become neurotypical because there is such a lack of services for them. This inspired me to join Rangam Consultants, a workforce solutions company which works with neurodiverse individuals and corporate organizations who hire them. I consult at Rangam as a solutions manager for the APAC region, and I'm very happy that we have worked with many organizations in which neurodiverse individuals are now working, succeeding and thriving. Which brings me to our topic for today. When you look at hiring individuals who are neurodiverse, there are two factors that come into play. One is the family, and one is the corporate organization who has hired them. Now, if we look at this from the family's perspective, what can family members, caregivers, siblings, parents do to help their neurodiverse individual, their neurodiverse child to really function well as succeed within the workplace? The first thing we can do is to teach skills to our neurodiverse adult. These skills would be daily living skills, the ability to be able to look after themselves, the ability to go to the toilet independently, to be able to dress themselves independently, and negotiate their immediate daily environment successfully. Functional skills are what would help them to be able to do basic math, which is required for money transactions, to be able to tell the time, to be able to take transportation independently, work out which bus to take, which taxi to take, and how know where to get on, where to get off. As well as we need soft skills which are needed for the workplace. These are the skills which are difficult to teach but not impossible, because they involve social rules and regulations. These are often those unspoken regulations that make up a part of the workplace culture, but they have to be taught to our neurodiverse individuals, and they can be taught to them. So these would include how to speak to their boss versus a colleague, how to send an email, to compose and send an email, what to say when they meet somebody at the coffee machine, and what not to say. These are two rules which can be taught through scripts, and again scenarios which can be taught through role play, through social stories, and these are things that they will learn as they go on. The second thing to do for families is to explore vocational courses that will enable their child to explore various fields before deciding what they can do to enter the workplace. Today, vocational courses include a lot of courses in technology, in computer skills, which can really help neurodiverse individuals to find something which interests them and which they can make their career. The other thing that they can do is to choose organizations which have neurodiversity at work programs. Numerous organizations are now looking at neurodiversity as a very, very important area in which they hire, and a lot of them have specialized programs which are neurodiversity at work programs, and which really create a whole ecosystem to help neurodiverse individuals to function well and to succeed within their organizations. And so parents can look at these and figure out which organizations support neurodiversity, because these would be places which would be welcoming of their children. Once their child is within the organization, it is very important and extremely useful to have regular touch points with their managers. These will help the managers tell you what is happening at work, and it's also useful for them to know what's happening at home. And these touch points will really create a very holistic system of support for neurodiverse individuals. You can encourage socialization outside of work as well as at work. Within work, you can help your neurodiverse child to learn scripts, to learn to look at various situations that could occur within the workplace and help them to understand how to navigate those. You can also encourage socialization out of work by arranging outings, by creating situations like birthday parties or any sort of social events within your home to encourage them to invite colleagues home so that they can create a support structure for them at work as well. Finally, I would add, please be open to feedback that the managers give you about your child. Help them work on their challenges, help them build on their strengths. Also be very open with resources that would help their managers, would help their colleagues and their teammates to help them to really succeed and thrive within the workplace. So that's it for families. What about organizations? What can organizations do? For a corporate organization, very often when somebody enters the workplace, they look at that person as an individual and not necessarily as somebody who's part of a family unit. However, in the case of neurodiverse individuals, it would definitely help you to look at that person as being a part of a family unit, and look at that family as a team of experts who know this person inside out, who know what works to help this person to learn, to be able to succeed and to work well. And so I would strongly suggest that you look at this family for support and reach out to them in order to be able to help your neurodiverse hire to work well within the workplace. Be open to suggestions that they give you. These might be something which may not be part of your traditional HR processes or hiring processes, but they would definitely help you to help your neurodiverse employee to figure out what it is that they can help them to work well and to be able to tap into their productivity and efficiency so that they can be a useful hire and make meaningful contributions to your organization. Be open to these various suggestions, as well as inquire about their mental health. This is something which we know is something which impacts neurodiverse individuals. Many neurodiverse individuals also are extremely anxious. A lot of them do face anxiety, and this is something which they may mask at the workplace but which may come out at home. We don't want that for that to happen, because it will ultimately come out in some way and might lead to some sort of breakdown. So we want to encourage their mental well-being. In that case, it is very important to stay in touch with their family members and to check on their mental health from time to time. And that is why it is very important to have those touch points. If you reach out to family members who may be hesitant to reach out to you as a manager, to establish those touch points. Initially, they can be maybe weekly or bi-weekly and bi-monthly, and then maybe once a month or once a quarter. Just create those touch points with family members to tell them, look, this is what is happening at work, this is what is happening at home. And that would really help to create that holistic system of support, like I said, for your neurodiverse employee to succeed, to thrive and work very well within your workplace. This is why I feel that when you hire somebody who is neurodiverse, it really does become a family affair. And please remember, as an organization, that when you are hiring somebody who is neurodiverse, you're not just giving somebody a job. You are impacting their entire sense of self-esteem. You are creating a huge impact on their self-confidence. You are relieving a lot of the worry of their parents who may be very stressed about their child's future. So you are creating peace within the home, and you are changing not just the life of that one person whom you have hired. You're changing not the life of their family. You are also sending out a message to the world, to the corporate world that you exist in, to the network that you exist in, saying that neurodiverse hires are welcome, they are embraced and celebrated at your organization. So do hire neurodiverse individuals. You will find that it is not something that you are doing for charity. They will be productive, they will make meaningful contributions to your work, and you will be changing not just an individual, you will be changing an entire ecosystem. Thank you very much for having me to speak here. I hope that this conference goes very well and wish you all the very best. Thank you.